What's up, everybody? It is that Be More Chick, Delphine. My friends call me Del. And on this edition of that Be More Chick Foodie Cooking Vlogs, that's a mouthful. That Be More Chick Foodie Cooking Vlogs. Okay. Anyway, I'm going to be making some tasty caramel apples. Some people say caramel. It really doesn't matter. It all eats the same. It's all tasty and delicious. It's fall time. I've got a ton of apples from the farmer's market, and I've been making apple pies, apple butter, apple chutney, apple this, apple that, apple cider. And I was like, I think I'm going to make some caramel apples. It's so fast and easy. Wait till you see how no fuss it is. If you have kids or grandkids or nieces or nephews, little ones, they love to help you make these caramel apples. I mean, they can, do anything. Put the sticks in. They can stir the caramel and the cream in the bowl. They can sprinkle nuts or whatever, help you decorate the apples. It'll be their own little creation. So, like I said, if you have kids, small kids, they would love to help you make these. But anyway, I want to thank you guys for subscribing, liking, sharing, receiving my notifications, commenting, being a friend to my channel in any way that you are. I say it on each and every vlog. I appreciate you guys. I hope you enjoy watching my foodie cooking vlogs. Alright, here comes. Stick around. Easy, fast, delicious, tasty, super tasty, inexpensive fall caramel apples. Caramel or caramel apples. Family, let's get this thing together. I have gathered all my ingredients, and all of my ingredients is not even that much stuff. Look at this. I've got my sticks for my apples. You can use any kind of craft sticks that you have on hand, or you can buy any type of craft sticks. I have some caramels. They're just like little craft caramels, a couple of those that I have. And I could swear I had more than these. It looks like they've been getting eaten. Maybe a friend that visits goes up in my cabinets and gets my caramels, start eating them. I'm so irritated about that. But anyway, heavy whipping cream is going to mix with the caramel to make the base of the caramel sauce for the apples. I've got my little bowl and wooden spoon. I've got some chocolate syrup. That's just a little drizzler right there. I'm going to fill it with chocolate syrup and drizzle. And that is courtesy of the Pampered Chef. I ordered a lot of cool things from them. This little drizzler was very inexpensive. It was like $5, I think. And I'm going to use it for all kinds of things, to decorate apples, to decorate cakes, cookies, pies, whatever. And I've got a couple little chopped pecans that I'm going to use, but you could use chopped walnuts. You could also use candy sprinkles. You can use chocolate chip. You can actually decorate your apples any kind of way you want. And I have my apples on this little wire rack. I washed them off thoroughly, soaked them, washed them. You will make sure your apples are very, very clean. You want to make sure any fruits and vegetables that you get are always washed off and thoroughly clean, and let them dry. Well, not let them dry, but these apples need to dry for the caramel sauce to stick to them. This is very important. This is a good point that I'm glad I remembered. Make sure after you wash your apples off that you let them sit and get very dry. You do not want any moisture on the apples, because if there's any type of moisture in the apples, the caramel sauce that you make with the whipping cream and the caramel is going to slide right off and look ridiculous. And your caramel apples are going to be wet, messed up, a joke. People are going to laugh at you. You're going to look at them, and it's just going to be a sad, hot mess. So make sure they are very, very dry. And I've got a little pan that I'm just going to sit my apples on as I drizzle them with caramel and decorate them. And then I'm going to spray this with some non-stick cooking spray and sit my apples on there after they've got the caramel and the decorations, drizzle, chocolate drizzle, whatever on there. And I'm also going to take this pan after. In fact, let me spray it with non-stick spray now. Let me find my non-stick spray. Any kind of non-stick spray that you have. It could be butter, it could be olive oil, whatever. It really doesn't matter. So you want to spray that so that when you put the finished apples on this pan, it's not going to, stick. And what I'm going to do is I actually take mine and put it up in my freezer. while I'm making the apples. You want it nice and cold. All right, guys. So I've shown you, what I'm using. It's not that hard at all, is it? If I can do it, you can do it. All right, let's get into these apples. Oh, Lord. One thing I wanted to come back and say is try to get yourself some apples that when you make this, get some apples. I mean, not apples. Try to get some caramels that are not like this. Look at this. I've been unwrapping all these, in these little individual plastic, and then you gotta unwrap, every last single one of them. It's I don't know if they sell, blocks of caramel or what, but it's no fun. You could get, older kids, 4 and 5 and 6 and stuff like that to unwrap these. They might like unwrapping these 5, 6, 7, especially 8 and 9. They might really have the fine motor skills to, get their fingers underneath here and unwrap each and every single one. But I'm telling you, try to find ones that you don't have to unwrap. These little teeny caramels like this, like I'm doing. This is getting on my. This is probably the part that gets on my nerves. Everything else about this is super easy. All right, so this should be enough caramels for what I'm trying to do. I'm not finna sit up and unwrap 10 billion of these little caramels like this. That is not what I want to do. But anyway, I've got enough. And if it's not enough, it's going to be enough. I'm going to make it enough. I'm going to add a little of my heavy whipping cream. And just kind of eyeball it, add a little, depending upon how much caramels you have. If you can see, I have maybe a half a cup of, less than a half of a cup of milk, of heavy whipping cream in here. And what you want to do is microwave this in intervals of like almost a minute. Check on it. And I'm going to do it on 50% power. You want it on a low power. You don't want it on high. You want the caramels to melt very slowly inside the heavy whipping cream. So I'm going to start microwaving this caramel, check on it, stir it, get it to the right consistency, and then it's going to be time to go. So let's put this on 5 minutes. And I'm going to do 50% power. And like I said, in little, 30-second to 60-second intervals, check on the caramels and the whipping cream. Make sure, it's melting right, and, just keep doing that until it's a good consistency. And I'll show you guys in a few minutes. All right, so while my caramel is going in the microwave, this is really fast. Let's do our sticks. This takes a little bit of muscle to get the stick, but you just want to get that little, usually the stem will come right off. See, I pulled the stem out. But you just want to get that stick. And like I said, it takes a little muscle getting it up there like that. But, all right, so that's a little lopsided, but hey, it doesn't have to be perfect. All right, so my sticks are my apples. Let me check on my caramel sauce. Okay, so I've had my caramel sauce in my microwave and done it in little intervals. You could do it on 50% power, 60% power, but make sure it's not on like 100% or 90 or 80%. But I'm just going to stir this. You see how it's nice? It's not like too thin, but it's not too thick either. But there's still some caramel that needs to melt there. But this is looking good. I don't have to add any more of that whipping cream, but you just want to make sure you stir it in intervals and get the little lumps out. I actually left this in for about 4 minutes, and I checked on it like every minute or so. So this is after 4 minutes on 50% power, and I've been checking on it each minute. So, and you see I'm stirring it. It's getting kind of smooth. It's not quite there just yet. So but it's still looking pretty good. So it's gonna go back in the microwave for another half a minute to a minute or so. I just took my caramel out of the microwave. I'm gonna give it another stir. You want it to not be too thin, but you also don't want it to be thick and clumpy either. And this is pretty good. It doesn't have to look perfect, but you want to get it, before it starts setting up. And I've just got this plate here. I'm gonna put, and if it starts thickening up too much, you could always add just another little drizzle of the heavy cream and microwave it. Make sure it's nice and warm if it starts to thicken up too much on you. So let me get my pan, my little tray that I've had in the freezer. Or you could put it in the fridge. I prefer in the freezer, so I'm going to take that out. And I'm just going to start and guys, these apples do not have to, be looking perfect. They don't have to be perfect. They don't have to look perfect. I mean, these are your little homemade creations. So, and this is nice and thick the way I like it. So I don't have to be, dipping it again and all that. And after this one, I'm going to microwave a little because it's starting to set up a little. So remove this. No, I want this here. I'm going to roll this in a couple of some nuts. And I'm going to sprinkle. I'm not going to put nuts like all around it. But just some nuts. That's a nice big meaty apple. And like I said, they do not have to look perfect at all. So there's one apple, and I'm going to microwave this because it's starting to set up a little. It's like really thick. So all right guys, let's see the red one. And you can dip and get the caramel on any kind of way you want. I probably could have used a bigger bowl, but I'm cool with this. So make sure the caramel is just, oh my gosh, that's so indulgent, isn't it? And I like my caramel to be kind of thick. I don't like that, like a thin layer of caramel. And I'm trying to figure out if I want nuts on this one as well. Once again, it does not have to be perfect. Let's put nuts on, sprinkle them. All around. And I know I said doing this with kids, you might not want to do nuts. You might want to do some bigger sprinkles or something like that, or let them do one little shake of sprinkles. And it can get messy, but I don't know. I'm a former preschool teacher, so I'm cool with a mess sometimes. Making a mess doesn't necessarily freak me out. So I'm gonna get some nuts at the bottom. Yeah, and I'm gonna sit that there. wash my hand. Alright guys, so I just drizzled. You could either just drizzle it like this, or I have a little handy drizzler. And I just drizzle a little chocolate all around. And I'm going to put these in my refrigerator to set up. So I sliced one of these up. One of these is big, so big that it is perfect for, I think, for sharing. So, oh, that is so good. You get a little bit of the tartness from the Granny Smith apple, and then the sweetness from the caramel, and the chocolate just hits you. Guys, you can do this without the chocolate, with just the caramel. You don't have to do nuts. You could do sprinkles. When I was talking about your kids helping you make these, I don't know, maybe just let them sprinkle some little sprinkles on top. It could get kind of messy. Anyway, whether you make these with your kids or you make these, on your own, whether you use green Granny Smith apples or red delicious apples, Fuji apples, whatever kind of apples you use, these are absolutely delicious, and it gives you a wonderful taste of fall. So I hope that you will make these. Like I said, they don't have to be perfect. I am a home cook, so everything I make is going to look homemade. And so should yours. It tastes divine. So if you're looking for a nice, sweet, indulgent treat, try my super rich, indulgent, fast, inexpensive, easy caramel apples. Y'all take care. Peace and blessings. Until next time, that Beamer chick out.